Welcome back to the My Manager Cree here with Schalke. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1, and we've got a big episode coming your way. Of course, we've been promoted to the Bundesliga competition on the back of some very strong performances, which we'll go through the awards very shortly, but 26 wins, 5 draws and 3 losses, and that was out of the 34 matches in last season's tournament. Of course, the fans are happy with us being in the number 1 league at the moment, and hopefully we can keep ourselves out of that relegation battle when it comes to here in Season 2. But of course, before we get into anything, we got the season awards from last season to go through, and there is none other than the most valuable player, which was Silla, voted by the CEO and the sporting director. He was our top performer with 38 goals, 7 assists, and a match rating of 8.68. The young star of the season was Sanchez in the back line, 1 assist, 18 clean sheets, and a match rating of 7.39. And of course, the fan-voted player of the season, Silla once again. You guys voted him as the best player through Season 1. And of course, 38 goals. You can't argue with that. But the devastating news is we unfortunately have lost Silla in Season 2. We had to put him up for transfer because we needed to hit that expectation. So the fans are nervous out there, being that we've been promoted, but the club had to make a business decision. Not a football decision, of course. We would have loved to keep Silla, but unfortunately we did have to let him go at the end of the season. Now we need to head across to Matthias Tillman to discuss what are the expectations here in Season 2. Of course, we finished in first place at the Bundesliga 2 competition. We got to the semi-final in the DFB Pokal, but unfortunately we were defeated by Leverkusen there in the semi-final. The positive result, though, is we got ourselves to that point, battling it out with the big leagues, and that was only in our first season. Now, with the expectations of Season 1, of course, we achieved all 5 expectations, so we're going to run through what bonuses we get here in Season 2 with those expectations being achieved. It's still going to be a tough season because we know the budget is low to start with, but hopefully this can give us a little bit of a boost heading into our first season here in the Bundesliga 1 competition. So finished top 4. We got the bonus of $2 million added to the transfer kitty. Develop and sell a promising young player for at least $5 million. That was Silla. We got $10 million for him, so $5 million will be invested into the transfer kitty with the additional $1 million. Showcasing homegrown talent. The bonus will be 20% of any transfer fee of a German-born player will be covered outside the transfer budget. Reducing wages under 240k, any of the transfers to create that, we got 50% of that added to the transfer kitty. And last but not least, a youth integration, a 2-star judgment scout will be added to the Youth Academy scouting team. Now looking at Season 2 expectations, we got 3 for the club and then 2 player-focused ones to go through. First one up, secure a mid-table finish, avoid relegation battle. Goal, finish 10th or higher to solidify our place in the Bundesliga competition. Bonus is if we achieve 10th place or better, it's a $2.5 million added to the transfer kitty. But if we're 7th or better, it'll be $5 million allocated to the transfer kitty in Season 3. The consequences, though, if we finish 11th to 14th, we'll have to sell 1 key player for a minimum $5 million. And then if we are 14th or lower, we'll have to also have no transfer kitty going into Season 3, and all signings must be either free agents, loan, or promotion from Youth Academy. So this is a big one. We need a mid-table finish here in Season 2. Now, just add another challenge to it is financial responsibilities. Goal, maintain a weekly wage of 200k or lower to ensure that the squad remains competitive in the Bundesliga competition. Bonus, if Schalke finishes 10th or better while under the wage cap, an additional $2.5 million will be added to the transfer kitty. Now, if we do finish 5th or better, $5 million will be added to the transfer kitty in Season 3. The consequences, though, if the wage bill exceeds 280k, we must sell or release the senior player with the highest wage before the end of the January 2026 transfer window. If the wage bill remains over the cap by season end, Schalke must sell and release 3 senior players with the highest wage before the start of the 27-28 season to rebalance the finances. Now, the third expectation is strengthen Schalke's German identity. Goals, start 5 German-born players in at least 80% of the Bundesliga matches. this season to reinforce Schalke's identity as a club that develops and showcases local talent. The bonus 20% of transfer fees from any German player will be exempt from the budget restrictions, helping with the signing of homegrown talent. Now, if Schalke does exceed the target by starting 6 or more German-born players in 80% of the matches, the club will be permitted to hire an additional 4-star rated youth academy scout to further strengthen its academy. The consequences, though, if the club fails this requirement, no non-German born player will be signed in Season 3 and forcing Schalke to rely only on domestic talent. We move across to the player focuses now. We've got Sanchez become a Schalke defensive leader. The goal, Sanchez must play 30 Bundesliga matches with a match rating of at least 7+, proving that he can be a long-term anchor in defence. The bonus, Schalke will be allowed to hire a 5-star defensive coach to further strengthen the backline and develop defensive talent. If he maintains a 7.3 match rating, he will be considered untouchable and a key part of the club's future. The consequences, Schalke must sell or release one senior defender, excluding Sanchez, to free up space for a defensive rebuild, ensuring the club does not stagnate. If Sanchez struggles rating below 6.75, Schalke must review the market for a starting centre-back in the next transfer window, and Sanchez will either be benched or sold depending on the potential offers that come through. So this is a big one for Sanchez, a real opportunity for him to potentially lock himself as a future leader here at Schalke and remain an anchor in that back line. Last but not least, we've got the player focus on Karaman, our leader, our captain, who unfortunately in Season 1 was plagued with injuries. His goal, he must start at least 25 matches and maintain a match rating of 7.5 while contributing to at least 10 goals involvements. So that's goals or assists to justify his leadership role in attack. Bonus, Schalke will be allowed to hire a 2-star rated attacking coach to improve the offensive tactics and player development. Now, if Karaman exceeds expectations by contributing to 20+ goals, Schalke will be allowed to hire a 5-star rated attacking coach to strengthen the club's long-term attacking strategy. Consequences, Schalke must phase him out by either selling or replacing him in the starting lineup, and he will be losing the captaincy. And lastly, it would be Schalke must sell or release one senior midfield player, excluding Karaman, to refresh the squad to avoid it stagnating, especially in that midfield. So here's his chance to really lead up front, our captain, Karaman. He's 31 years of age, so he is in the back end of his career. But Season 1, we really didn't get much opportunity with him, being that it was plagued with injury. So those are the 5 expectations here in Season 2. The good news, though, as well, is we got $15 million in the transfer kitty ready to go for this transfer window. We've got potential players to sell as well, so we can boost that number up, because I think we've got some key positions that we need to start fixing. Now, if you're enjoying the episode so far, make sure you do hit that like button, as it does help the channel grow and reach new audiences. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe to catch up on all the latest of this series. But here's the squad where it sits at the moment. We've got some key positions that we need to be looking to potentially replace here in the transfer window. Looking at the striker position, we've got Holland and we've got Rimmett. Unfortunately, I think both of them aren't up to consistent Bundesliga competition in the starting lineup, so I do think we need to replace a striker, which would be our priority one here in the transfer window. The cam position as well, when looking at potential replacements for Karaman, we've got Frank from the Youth Academy at 62. Really the only one showing any potential to potentially be a substitution there for Karaman, so I do think we need to look at a cam here in the transfer window. Now looking at the left midfield position, you got Yunus in that position, 31 years of age at the moment. Incredible first season there on the left-hand side, but he is, of course, 31 years of age. Hamachi, Aiden, and then you got Metcalf or Frank, who are the possible replacements. Aiden and Hamachi are the ones that have shown great potential. Metcalf is Mr. Reliable across the midfield, and then we do have Frank coming through the Youth Academy, and that's the same for the right-hand side with Aiden. Traditionally a right back, can play that right midfield. We'll potentially move him into a right midfielder and start developing him in that position, being that we are running with that 3-back. Of course, the lineup that we are, the formation-wise, is going with that 3-5-2 at the moment, and that's the 2 centre defensive mids, and then you got the cam, left mid, right mid, 2 strikers, and then 3 centre-backs at the back. Looking at the centre-backs here, we got Wazinski, we got Sanchez, and then the new recruit, Itar. potentially going into that starting lineup on the left-hand side. But when you look at the bench, it's very limited. You got Henning, who started for us at the back end of the season, but his development has stopped. You got Merkin, who's traditionally a left back, and a Bullet, who's a traditional right back. The plan with those two is they could potentially play a centre back, and they are in their final 12 months of their contract. So we'll potentially switch their development plans across to a centre back, and then that way we can start working on that. So I think with Merkin, we'll work on him potentially on that ball-playing defensive player. That way he's working on his awareness, his standing tackle, his interception, but he's also good with the movement. You look at his speed of 87. If he can be a great centre-back at 87 speed, we've got a real lethal weapon, potentially on that left-hand side. And then you got Bullet, currently contract expires 12 months from now. Again, we need to make a decision what we're doing with him. He's only 19 years of age. But again, if we look at developing him as a centre-back, he's 85 speed, 78 acceleration. And then we look at that ball-playing defender as well, which is defensive awareness, standing tackle, interception, and then ball control, passing, etc. So we'll see how they'll go halfway through the season, and then we'll evaluate. Of course, we've had Ita join the club here, which is a great addition, I think, on a free transfer, and I think he'll really boost that back line for us. Of course, talking about boosting the squad, we need to head across to our sporting director to discuss all things transfers, who will be out, who will be coming in. It's all up to him. Of course, we need to keep the wages under 280k. That is the expectations here in Season 2. So we've got to go through who potentially will let go here in the first window of the season. The first on his list is Templeman. He's come back from a transfer and we aren't looking to use him here in Season 2. Henning, unfortunately, has reached his full development, so he will also be departing. We've got Evers, who is a Youth Academy graduate that will potentially send out. Aris, he's 60 overall cam. We just haven't been looking to use him. The same with Becker. And that is also the same here for Remit. 19 years of age. He's just really not going to hit that first team squad anytime soon. So he will be departing hopefully here in the first transfer window. We've got 15 million in the kitty here in the transfer window. Of course, we need to target a striker, a cam, a left or right midfielder, and then a centre back to boost in that back line, being that we are going to go with that 3-back. But the first on the chopping block is the striker position. We've got Downs, real potential there. He's only 20 years of age. We got Brunner as well. A little bit expensive on the wages, but plenty of potential. 19 years of age. Then we go down to Bogas. He was a recommendation from you guys in the comment section. 23 years of age. Potential, a real good asset if we do sign him. And then we got last but not least Top. He is 21 years of age, 6'4". Plenty of potential as well with him. But Yuri has decided he's gone with your recommendation, so we're going to see if we can secure Bogas for the first transfer here in Season 2. We, of course, are going to go for lower than his market value, being that we want to kind of have a little bit of cash flow ready to go for the other positions. So we'll look to see if we can get him over the line with 4 million. Great news is they have agreed to terms on the 4 million. Now we just need to get that contract sorted with him. In the discussions with Yuri, he said around 10 to 12,000 is what we need. They've come back. They want 4 years, 10 million release, but they want a wage of 15 with 160 signing bonus plus 330k for additional bonuses. We'll bring it down to 12, go with the 200 signing bonus and see if we can get him over the line. In a moment of silence, can we potentially get him as the first sign-in here in Season 2? And unfortunately, they have flat out declined the offer. So Bogas does not want to agree to terms on 12,000 a week. And we go back to the drawing board when it comes to a striker position. We'll have to go have that conversation with Yuri on what is our backup option out of the other recommendations. Being that max out, he wanted to pay 10 to 12,000 for the striker position. Now, gone back to Yuri now, and he's actually come up with a suggestion to go for a loan deal here in the striker position, and it is Paris Brunner, 19 years of age, German-born, so obviously great for our expectation. And they have agreed to potentially have a conversation here about a loan. We're looking at 2 years, going a 50-50 split on the wages, so only costing us 9,000 a week, which is great. And looking at value-wise, if he does fit the squad, we'll look to do potentially 4 million, which would be a great sign-in for us. The good news is we're not going to use that here in the first window if they agree to terms. it will be later on, and we can potentially evaluate the squad when it comes to the next transfer window. So good news, they have agreed to terms on that one, and now it's all up to Brunner and his agent to decide, do they want to join the squad. Next up, we're looking at the left and right mid. We've got Aranakunda, the Australian, 19 years of age, currently at Bayern Munich. He's 72 overall. He's got plenty of upsize. Then we've got Massimo. He is 69 overall, right mid, left mid, or could play right back. He's 24 years of age, a potential there. You got Mark Zirk. He is 21 years of age, 72 overall, right midfielder, one of your recommendations. And then we had 2 recommendations come through as well, but unfortunately both these are over the maximum that we can go with the overall, being our highest evaluated player is 24. So Yuri has decided Aranakunda, we're going to potentially look to go for a loan on this deal as well, being that his wages are substantially high. And if we can get him on a loan deal for 2 years, that'd be fantastic. And then we can obviously evaluate what we need to do depending on how he plays within the squad. Still going to be a bit exy for us on a 50-50 split, 13,000. But I think we can fit that within the cap. And I think if he does work out for us, 5.5 million is a good deal if they do agree to this one. They've come back for 6, which, you know what, for 19-year-old, 72 overall at the moment, plenty of upside. 6 million could be an absolute steal for us. So we've agreed to terms. Now it's up to him to decide, does he want to join the club? Now, going to the third position, centre-back Vaskovic, 18 years of age, 6'4", plenty of upside. He's got great speed and acceleration, and he could potentially play well in that 3-back option. Simic, very similar stats, 20 years of age though, and 6'1", so both of those great potential. Lee Han, he's 23 years of age, 6'3". His physical's a little bit better, and he's got solid speed as well. And then last but not least, Lun, he's a little bit lower on the speed side, but he's definitely a physical centre-back. Yuri has come back and decided, though, the 18-year-old Vaskovic could be our first official signing here in Season 2. He's 18 years of age, 71 overall. His physical's great. His defense is improving. And I think his speed as well works well with the 3-back option, being that he'll be able to cover the wing position if needed. So we're going with the 4 million, seeing if we can get it over the line just under his market value. And they have agreed to terms here. So great option here if we can get it over the line with the contract. Last time we tried to get a contract sorted, it was declined. Let's see if we can get this over the line. He wants 5 years. He wants a release clause as well for 11 million. And then when we look at his contract, he's currently on 11k a week. We're only going to give him a little bit more than that. So we're going to go 12k a week for his wages. And then when we look at this signing bonus, we'll top it up a little bit there with it going at 150. But there's a potential. He could be our first signing here in Season 2. Hopefully he agrees to terms. I think he will be a great addition. And he has agreed to terms. So Vaskovic will be signing here Season 2, starting here for Schalke. Great addition and exactly what we wanted in that back line. So there's the headlines there. 5-year deal. Vaskovic has joined Schalke. And he'll be partnering Sanchez and potentially Ida or Schallenberg in that back line, depending on how we want to structure the squad once we get all the additionals in before the first kickoff. But I think a great addition and definitely look forward to seeing what he can potentially do. But great news as well, after that signing, Brunner has agreed to the loan deal. He has signed with us, so this is a great addition up in that striker position. Obviously, we've got a 2-year window to determine, is he the replacement for Silla? I think he could be a real asset up front. And if we do agree to terms, it's not going to cost us that much on a transfer fee. Looking at now his development, I think what we'll work on with him is a false 9. Work on his ball control as well as his dribbling, a bit of his long pass, short pass, and then also his attacking position, shot power and long shot. And then probably halfway through the season, we'll look to switch that up. Now looking at the cam position, we've got not a lot of options here, being that they are exceeding our highest rated player, meaning that we can't sign him here in the season. But Napan, he is a potential here, 18 years of age, 71 overall, and he can play cam, centre midfield, or striker. He's very versatile. He's 6'4" as well, so he's a big guy, and his market value currently 4.8. Yuri has come back and says he wants between 4 to 4.5 mil, and we'll see if we can get that over the line. Now, they want Yunus and 2.4. Unfortunately, we're not going to accept that, being that Yunus was one of our best players last season. while he is 32 years of age this season, we are going to give him an opportunity in our squad to start the season. So we'll go back with the 4.5 and see if we can get that over the line. And if we can, that's a great addition, which we do get that over the line. It's fantastic news. Napan could be this third edition, because we do have Brunner joining the squad as well off that loan. Now, salary-wise, we could get him for a bargain, being that he's only on 4.5k per week. So we are going to bump him up to 10,000. So we're happy to do that. And we'll go with the signing bonus of 100k as well. So we'll keep it flush, 10k a week, 100k signing bonus, 5 years, critical, no release clause. And the great news is he will be joining us here. I think he'll be a great addition. We obviously have Karaman at the moment on an expectation. If he doesn't perform, we do need to look for the future. But Napalm will be a great addition here in Season 2. Here's a headline press here, though. 5-year deal for a young 18-year-old Napan. Join the squad wearing the number 17. And I think he'll be quite versatile across that midfield if needed, especially here in Season 2. 4.5, I think, is an absolute bargain here. And again, it's just keeping us where we need to be in the salary cap and transfer budget. When we're looking at what we want to potentially improve on, I think we look to do an advanced playmaker for him. Work on his short and long pass, his composure with his dribbling, and then also his shot power and long shot as well. But talking about another great addition, Arana Kunda has agreed to terms from Bayern Munich. I think this could be a great addition for us in the midfield position. Obviously, it's great that he's an Australian as well. Always love to add an Aussie to the squad. And it just made sense being that he was at Bayern Munich in the German league. And now he's coming across to us on a 2-year deal. Looking at the squad now, where we sit with all the additional players, we've got Vaskovic in the back line with Sanchez and Ita. Then you've got Schallenberg, Segan, Yunus, Moore, Karaman, Holland, and then we've got Remet up front at the moment. But we will do the switches out where we need to. Looking at what Arana Kunda can do here on the right midfield. Great stats. He's obviously a little bit better than Moore at the moment, but Moore obviously had a great Season 1, so we're going to give him the starting position. But the interesting thing here is Arana Kunda could be potential striker option up front, where we have gone for Bogas, but unfortunately he declined. We could go with Brunner and Arana Kunda up front, Holland on the bench, and that keeps Yunus Moore at least to start the season, showcase what they can do in the midfield and hold their spot before we make any changes. So I think this is the lineup that we're going to go for the first match. We've got Arana Kunda, Brunner, Karaman, Yunus Moore, Schallenberg, Segan, Ita, Sanchez, and Vaskovic. Higuain between the posts, and then Napan will be on the bench to be able to come on for Karaman, and then potentially move Karaman up into the striker position near the end of the match to give one of the front two a bit of a break. Now, we'll work on his development, Arana Kunda, being that he's a right midfielder, so we're going to switch up his development plan to a striker, and then we'll work on his shooting ability, a bit of his passing, and ball control from there. I think that will just be the false 9 once he does move across to the striker position. But looking at the right midfield, being that we are looking to move Arana Kunda up front, is we're going to actually move Aiden into a left or right midfielder, depending on the play style that we want. If he is going to be a left midfielder, we're going to potentially put him on an inside forward kind of game plan, being that he'll shoot off his right foot after cutting on the inside. So we'll put that on the plan there for a right midfielder for now, but we can potentially then work on a left midfield after that. Looking at free agencies here, we got Berghoff. He is currently a free agent, 26 years of age, plenty of upside. Obviously, his value is quite high, and he would be a great addition, I think, adding a bit of depth into the midfield, being that Arana Kunda is moving up into the striker position. We're going to look to potentially get his wage at a little bit less, or half of what he potentially was getting prior, or what his recommendation wage is. I don't think we'll be going to 14k. I think it's 12k max for any free agent at this point in time in the season. So we'll go 12k with 150k signing bonus. It's a 4-year deal as well, so if we can get it over the line, it'd be a great addition. But he's hanging firm on that 14k at the moment, and we just do not want to part with that type of money. We'll go to 13. I know it's nickel and dimes, but we need to squeeze every penny we can, especially here earlier on in the season. Great thing is he has agreed to terms here, so we've got him for 4 years. There's a release clause on him as well, so he does well. we'll probably have someone knocking on the door for him. But I think a great addition for us, being that it costs us no transfer fee, and he comes in and boosts up that midfield and kind of helps out Schallenberg, Segan, and then Metcalf as well, being that Gruger potentially will be loaned out here in the first transfer window. So Burkhardt has come across for a free, great addition, and then we'll work on his development plan. I think either holding midfielder or deep line playmaking, but I think we just work on his defense first, so we'll go the holding for him. Now we've got Amari Bell, 31 years of age, 70 overall, centre back. While we do have some great centre backs in the squad, I think for potential risk of injuries that happen throughout the season, he is a free transfer here out of the free agency, so I think we'll look to see if we can get him at least to just boost up the depth in that centre back position. Again, we don't want to be going for any more than 12, 13k. His 3 years is what he's looking for. Recommend wage is 20k, but I just don't want to get anywhere near that type of value. So we're going to go back, counter it to 12.5k a week with 120k signing bonus and see if he agrees to terms on this one. And he has agreed to terms. So I think a great addition into that back line, being that we already have Wazinski on the bench as well as Vaskovic. But we are looking to obviously depart with Henning, etc. here in the transfer window. So a great addition coming across from previously at Luton Town. And he's bringing that Premier League experience across to the Bundesliga. So I think a great quality player in that back line for us to support some of the younger players. And of course, a free transfer. You've got to love it. Now, looking at transfers, we have had some transfers happen here in the preseason. And these are the transfers that will be leaving us here in the first window. And of course, the first starter or first team starter in Henning has decided to depart, and we have been able to get a decent dollar for that departure. So it is for 1 million, which is a great addition to the kitty, but he's not the only one that will be departing. We also get 640k from Abraham, and then when we look at the others, Becker, it was 440k, not a huge amount of dollars, but it all adds up. We've got Remet looking at 360k, which is great, being we weren't going to use him here in Season 2. We got Templeman going across on 2.1 to Hull City. I think that's a great little boost to our kitty. And then you've got 430k here from Ostermain. Now, before we jump into the first match of this episode, I hope you've enjoyed it so far. It's been a lot to get through, being that it is the first episode of Season 2. Of course, the expectations from Season 1 we did achieve, which means we can boost one of these scouting up to a 2-star judgment and experience. So that will be who we'll be focusing on for local talent. We'll be sending the 2-star judge out to Germany every 3 months. So looking at the 3 countries that Yuri's decided, we've got Ghana looking for a winger, a left mid and right midfielder. And then we've got a goalkeeper from Sweden. And then with Germany, we've got a centre defensive mid and a centre midfielder, all deep line playmaker or hold in. We've still got 4 players with potential contract discussions this season. We've got Merkin and Bullet that we need to evaluate. Are they going to be future in the squad, or do we transfer them out? And of course, we've got Segan, who's played phenomenally well in Season 1 with Schallenberg as well. But that's enough about the transfer window. Let's jump into the first match of the episode, and that will be against Mainz. And they are a dominant force, 4-star across the park, and definitely going to be a challenge here, being the first match of the Bundesliga is an away match here. So it's always challenging to be going into the new competition, obviously as an underdog, but to be in an away match for the first match as well, it just adds that extra challenge. They're going with a 3-4-2-1 formation. So again, our objective is to try and get around that midfield and put some pressure on the back 3. And then with our lineup, we're going with, of course, the new formation here is a 3-5-2. So we're going with the 3 back as well. We've got 5 midfielders, and then up front, the 2 strikers. So it's Ida, Sanchez, Vaskovic, Segan, Schallenberg, Yunus, Karam, and Moore. And then Aranakunda and Brunner up front. Great additions potentially up front. Time will tell. Hopefully we've made the right choices with Yuri on the new additions, and Yunus just gives the ball up way too easy there to start the match. Segan trying to slide across, trying to get in front of it. It's not the best play to start the match here. Looking a little nervous in defence. Ida trying to slide across, trying to get in front of the body at the moment. Nice block. Does get the steal there, and Yunus takes the ball away. 24 minutes in here now. It's been a battle in the first half. Chip across the top there. Nice play there by Vuskovic. And unfortunately just gives away a loose ball there. Sanchez unable to get in front of that one. And Higuain with a beautiful save. Short ball here on the corner. Not getting in front of it that good there, Yunus. Ball back in the midfield. Blocked there by Sanchez. And Segan taps it out, but straight back here to Mains. Blocked there by Vuskovic. Trying to get the ball at the moment. But again, Mains with a beautiful ball movement. Almost scoring first there, 30 minutes in. Yunus hasn't had the best first half here. Does get a steal there though. Gets the ball down to Ranakuna. Chip across the top here to Brunner. But the keeper comes out. Moore still got the ball. Looking to potentially get it to Karaman, but unfortunately it's a terrible pass there and a real chance before the halftime break. So we are going to go into this halftime break all tied up. It's been a defensive battle there in the first half. Hopefully we can come out here in the second and put a little bit more polish on our attacking flow. Segan trying to slide across here. Ball back on the inside. Ball down there. A nice pick up there by Higuain. Quick play the ball down to Schallenberg. He's going to get it across here to Karaman. Gets a long ball out here to Yunus. Steps back on the inside. Nice play here by Yunus. Pushing towards the box here. He's got Ranakuna in the box. But unfortunately, defense slides across. 54 minutes in here now. Ita picks up the pass, but unfortunately leaves the ball behind. Sanchez trying to slow it down, and he does well with Higuain with a great save, 57 minutes in. Nice defensive play there by Segan. Gets it to Karaman. Gets around the defender. Nice play here. Great ball through here to Ranakuna. Gets on the outside, but blocked there by the defender. So we're going to do some switches out here. Merkin, Napan, Aiden and Burkhardt all coming on here late in this match. Hopefully can add a little bit of fresh legs and a little bit of spark in attack. 73 minutes in. Ball over the top here. Tapped down there by Merkin. Gets the ball through here to Moore. Long ball down here to Kramer. Beautiful play onto Iranakunda. Shot opportunity. And the first there for our campaign here in Season 2. He's first here for Schalke as well. Karaman moving up into the striker position with Napan coming on. Runner going off. And we're able to combine there with the Ranakuna. First goal. Nice pass there by the captain. And great line there by Ranakunda. 80 minutes in. Merkin sliding across, trying to slow the play down. He does overcommit on that one. Sanchez does as well. And saved there by Higuain. Great save there. Burkhardt just slides it out through here to Aiden. Final minutes there. Nice defensive play there by Schallenberg. Through to Napan. Out here to Aiden on the left-hand side. Trying to push centre field here. Finds Schallenberg. He's going to get the ball back here to Aiden. Pushing down centre field. Shot opportunity, but blocked by the defender. Looking to potentially put it in the box here. Could we seal the deal here? Moore. In there. Schallenberg. What a goal. He's first of the series. And what a first goal in style. A beautiful bicycle kick here. Taps the shoulder of the defender on the way through and just bounces over the outstretched keeper. A great goal to wrap up this first match. Schallenberg getting his first for his career here in the series. And then the same with the Ranakunda in his first match, scoring his first goal to open up the campaign. So great results here in the first match here at the Bundesliga. And we got a 45-55 split on possession. Looking at performance-wise, look, it was tough out there, but you can't go anywhere past Ranakunda, a 9.3. But I think Higuain between the posts as well was phenomenal, and he was our third best rated player. Now, talking about Youth Academy before we get into the second match, we've got some players that are on the cusp of being promoted into the senior squad, so we're going to give them an opportunity here. Berger, Mooring, and Baykirk are all 17, 18 years of age. And then we're going to put Christensen in as well as a potential, being that he has been a new addition to the squad. So we're going to see how they go here in the Youth Academy. And then potentially over the next couple of episodes, we'll look to promote them into the starting lineup to kind of give us a little bit of support. But a nice pass through here to Baykirk. He's got the pace and he's got the accuracy as well to open up the scoring campaign here. So we get the first in the first match here. We're a minute 33 in there. Missed opportunity there on defense. And it's off the arm of the keeper. And unfortunately, straight into the net. I thought it went wide there. Baykirk here. Off the kickoff. Looking to potentially get a ball through here to Baykirk. Nice pass through there. And he slices it past the keeper. Scores the second. We're up by 1. And we're in the final minute here. Baykirk sliding across. Great defensive play. No one around him. It's just him and the keeper. Waits for the keeper to come out and just hits it straight into the right side of the net. A great goal. We're up by 2. Skov is on the field here now. Gets a pass through here to Baykirk. And once again delivers. Last 14 seconds here. Moring down to Berger. Gets a ball through here to Skov. Gets on the outside. Oh, and he squeezes down the right-hand side. Great goal there. And that's going to be it for this one. 5-1 in the first match of the Youth Academy tournament. Baykirk looking good. But I also think Moring and Berger are both looking like potential real good assets to the senior squad if we do promote them. But we've still got 2 games to see how they play here. Skov misses the defensive attempt on that one. And it's now just our keeper and them. And unfortunately, they score the first very early in this one with Winkler. Baykirk down here to Moring. Gets on the outside. Defender tries to take a tackle there. And nice play there by Berger. Just stays with Moring there. Hits the line. And he gets a beautiful pass back on the inside. Moring with a nice defensive play. Gets a loose ball here. It's 1-on-1 with the keeper. And he slices it straight past him for the second of the match. Ball back centre field here. Berger gets a steal. Defence into attack. Slows the play down. Scores it in the left-hand side. We're up by 2. Berger looking dangerous in the midfield. I think off the 2 matches here, some great plays. Moring does not give up there and slices it past the keeper. I was just about to say, looking from the first 2 matches here, Moring and Berger both making some great effort plays. And a poor play there by Berger after just praising him. He's got to get back here defensively. And he does well. But he gives the ball up again. And unfortunately, they score their second. Berger just a little bit too careless. But we do pick up the victory here. A 10 out of 10 performance for Moring. Berger with an 8.4. But both of them, I think, played outstanding in the first 2 matches. But we've got the final now here in this tournament. Judging by the first 2 matches, Baykirk, Berger and Moring all looking very good at the moment. That's a pass back from Baykirk to Berger. And once again, he delivers. What a fantastic tournament he has had, Berger. And he just keeps delivering on the big stage. Nice defensive play there from Baykirk. Moring with it. Tries to get a pass through. Not the best, but he does stay with it. Gets it to Baykirk. Second chance here. Gets on the outside. Shot opportunity. And he just slices it past the keeper. And we're up by 2 here in the final. Moring down here to Skov. Gets the ball through here to Baykirk. Gets himself in position. And again delivers with a great shot across the body of the keeper. And that's it. We do pick up the victory. Baykirk was our 10 out of 10 performer there in the 3rd match. But I think overall, we've got 3 real good potentials come through the ranks. But we've got, before we talk about promoting them, which will be in the next couple of episodes, we've got this big match here to wrap up the first episode of the season. And that will be against Augsburg. Again, it's an away match. Not the best way to start a season, but we did pick up a victory in the first match. Can we do that in the second? Conditions, again, not favourable for attacking football, and they're going with the 3-4-2-1 formation. So again, the mission is to get around that midfield and put some pressure on that back 3. Looking at the formation that we're going with, of course, we're going with that 3-5-2. And then we've got Merkin actually starting in this match. We're giving him an opportunity on that left-hand side with Sanchez and Voskovic. And then we've got Schallenberg, Segan, Yunus, Karaman, Moore, and then Aranakuna and Brunner up front with Hickering between the posts. So conditions not favourable for attacking football, but here's an opportunity for Merkin to really showcase what he can do in the defensive line, being that he's in his final year of his contract. And I think this first half of the season will determine, do we re-sign him or potentially let him go in the transfer window when it comes to January. Segan trying to push back here. Merkin with the first header attempt wasn't the cleanest, and the shot goes wide there by Jensen. Five minutes in here, Hickering down to Sanchez, through to Vuskovic, pushes it down here to Schallenberg. He's got Yunus out wide, he's going to use him. Trying to bring it back here, through here to Karaman. No one really in position to get this ball back. He's going to give it to Brunner. Oh, great move there by Brunner. What a play there. And that's his first here in the series. Making something out of nothing on that one. Karaman had no one to really pass it to. Sees Brunner with a half an opportunity, and he spins around the defender on a 180. Great ball control to be able to step back around there in between the two defenders, and he hits it with power down the left-hand side for the first in this one. Segan trying to slide across, same with Moore. Schallenberg's having to push up here. Chip over the top. Sanchez too slow to get across there. Vuskovic needs to slide across, and Hickering with the save. 21 minutes in. Ranakuna's in the defensive line there. Should be up front with the strikers, but whatever works at the moment. Ranakuna gets it out to Yunus. Oh, beautiful pass back on the inside to Ranakuna. He's got the pace and the strength. Pushes off defenders, and he gets his second here in the season. First of the match, 29 minutes in. Coming from the back line, supporting the defenders. A striker. Youth on his side to be able to have the legs to be able to get down the field and get himself in position. And Yunus just finds it back on the inside. Graben now, 39 minutes with the ball. Down here to Moore on the right-hand side. Gets around the defender. Looking to potentially put it in the box here for Ranakuna. But unfortunately, defence slides across, and we're unable to control that one. We're going to go into the halftime break here, 2-0. So a good first half in attack, but defence has been solid as well with that new formation of Merkin, Sanchez and Vuskovic in the back line. Moore pushing down the right-hand side at the moment. 47 minutes in here. Karaman pushing inside the box. Looking to potentially get it in the middle there, but unfortunately, I believe it's going to be a card for that one. He's sliding in on the loose ball, taking out the legs of the defender. So we're going to do a switch out here for Ita, Hamachi and Napan coming on for Vuskovic, Yunus and Karaman. We obviously don't want a second yellow card to our captain in our second match of the season. Merkin has slid across to the right-hand side with Ita playing better on the left hand. And unfortunately, he's out of position on that one. Hickering with the save. And that was a warning shot there, 60 minutes in. Tap down here, 63. Merkin pushing down here to Napan. Down to Hamachi. He's got Brunner running the line here, but defence cuts him off. Unfortunately, with the wet conditions, just couldn't control the ball well enough on that one. Napan with a nice defensive play there. Long ball down here to Brunner. Oh, beautiful pass through to Ranakuna. And he just slips it past the right-hand side for the second in the match. This combination up front's working for us. I think we've potentially just got a hidden gem with Ranakuna to play up front. Obviously, both of them on loan at the moment. But potentially we're going to sign both of them if they continue to play like they have been. Schallenberg through here to Segan. Down here to Moore. He's got Napan on the inside. Does find him. Great ball through. He's got Moore back on the outside. Uses him. Chips into the box. Ranakuna almost got a hat-trick on that one. Great ball there from Moore. Unfortunately, keeper gets a hand to it. And again, Napan with a great defensive play. Putting defence into attack here. Through to Brunner. And off the left post. Oh, that would have been beautiful. And unfortunately, Napan couldn't control it. Final moments here. Would love to keep a clean sheet. Segan trying to push back. Ida needs to slide across. Ball back on the inside. Hickering with the save. And there's going to be the full-time siren. We do pick up a clean sheet here. So while we are a 3-back, we are still defending well, and we pick up yet another clean sheet. Great performance by that back line. Obviously, Merkham getting the starting position as well, performed well, moving from that left back to centre back position. Looking at the match stats here, 53 to 47 split on possession. And then our man of the match was Napan, Aranakuna, or Brana. All of them 10 out of 10 performances, with Karaman and Yunus 9 and an 8.8. So with the transfer window, we're going to just run the clock out, being that we're not going to release any more players or sign any more additional ones. This is how we ended up on the end of the month of football, with 2 wins in our first 2 matches, a 2-0 victory and a 3-0 victory, both of them away from home. We currently sit in second position, but of course we're only 2 matches into the season, so there's a lot that can change throughout Season 2 here. Looking at the stats, Aranakunda currently in second position for the most goals here in the Bundesliga. What a phenomenal start to his campaign. Karaman with 2 assists, he's been playing well, and then Yunus with 1 as well. And then when we look at clean sheets, Hickarin back up top like he was in the last season with 2 clean sheets. Now, a bit of a wrap up how the transfer window went. A lot of money was around the place, with obviously a lot of movement. Arsenal especially was making some big changes. Gabriel departing. We've got Havertz moving across to Inter Milan. You got Alisson moving across to Arsenal as well. And then Liverpool was absolutely just ripping their squad apart with Diaz, Jota departing. They already had Van Dijk departing as well, which is a massive blow to him. So a lot of movement there in the Premier League. This is how our transfer window went. We obviously had Vaskovic, Napan, both of them joined. Then we had the players that departed, of course, out the transfer window. And then we got Berghalf coming in on a free transfer, Bell as well. And then Brunner and Aranakunda both on loan. So I think coming off that, we've only really signed 2 players here in the transfer window with a transfer fee. So we've still got some money in the play when it comes to January transfer window. We need to make a decision probably halfway through this season, if not by season end, on the 2 loan players. And of course, the 2 additionals from the free agency as well were great additions. But I hope you've enjoyed the first episode of Season 2. There was a lot to go through. Appreciate all the support. If you did enjoy this episode, make sure you do hit that like button, as it does help the channel grow. And of course, if you're new around here and haven't already, make sure you do subscribe to catch up on all the latest. And if you missed any of the series so far, the playlist will be up on your screen right now. So appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.